if you're dealing with any kind of lower back pain, feeling like you have it really tight, there's some tension there, or that you might have a little bit of inflammation happening in your butt right here. There's a part in our butt called a piriformis muscle. And sometimes when we exercise, it can get a little bit inflamed and it can pinch on the certain nerve that runs down our leg called the sciatica nerve. And you can kind of feel that nerve kind of like firing was what they call it, okay? But even if you don't have this pain coming down your leg and you just have some overall tightness, this is a really good routine for you to do, okay? So the first exercise, the first stretch I want you to do is put one foot, you see how it's in front of me? It looks like a 7, yeah? And you see how my back is behind me like that? Okay, so I'm gonna face the mat this way, okay? So you can see me on the side. Now, my right foot is the one in front of me. So put your left hand in front of you, right in front of your leg. Put your right hand on the side, okay? Like on where your knee is at. And now keep your chest up. And then twist your body, keeping the chest up and come down, okay? So you'll feel it depending on the tightness that you have. Sometimes one side is much tighter than the other, okay? And keep that chest up as you come down. And take your time and put that pressure onto the floor, like you want to push against the floor, and come down. There you go. Oh, that feels so good. So every time you do a stretch, you want to take your time, hold it there 30 seconds for a minute, even longer if you want to really open those muscles up, yeah? So you just want to twist your body just like 30 degrees, not too much, yeah? So you want to like twist it towards where your knee is at. Hold it there. Try to go deeper, keeping that chest up. All right, now you can pause this. You can do the stretch for as long as you want. I'm just going to show you the routine, okay? Now, you could bring the foot slightly lower, and you can keep it high. It'll give you more of a stretch, but the higher it is, the more difficult it might be for you to do this. This leg now, make it straight. And now, sit on top of your leg, okay? I like to lift it a little bit higher, and now sit on top with your elbows onto the floor. There you go. And now you'll get a little stretch on the side. Focus on your breathing. And you can kind of roll a little bit left and right. Get a deeper stretch. You can sit up with your hands like this. Feel what works for you, yeah? Good. And now we're going to do the other side, just like what we first did, okay? So bring the foot to the back like that. All right, and just like a 7. And now left hand to the side of you, right hand to the front. Okay, keeping the chest up, twist, and then come down. And it's stretching the piriformis muscle right here, and that's what affects the lower back. Take your time, breathe, push against the floor, come down. There you go. And now, make your legs straight. Put your elbows in front of you. There you go. And now get a deeper stretch. So we want to work our way into the stretches and not do very deep stretches in the beginning. So we warm up the body, work our way into it, and then each stretch will start to become deeper and deeper and a little bit more challenging on the body. Hold it there. You can sit up if you want. Always remember, if you have really, really lower back pain, you never want to do anything excessive with your lower back. You never want to arch it too much like that, you know, and do the opposite movement, you know what I mean, of this, or too much of that, you know what I mean? Everyone's body posture is different, so that's why you can't really just do whatever that you find online. You got to be careful with that, you know? So if anyone who has an excessive arch, they never want to do anything that's excessively going to arch it. And if anyone has something like a sway back, they don't want to be stretching it out too much, you know what I mean? And creating more of that stretch in their back. All right, now we're going to move on to the next stretch. All right, so for the next stretch, I want you to lay down on your back. Okay. Now you're going to cross your leg, putting your foot on your knee, okay? And you have an option to push this knee if you want to, if you feel like that gives you a better stretch, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lift your leg, and you should feel all the stretch right here, okay? Now, if you want a deeper stretch, you can push here. If you feel like that doesn't really get the stretch for you, you can pull your leg inward, okay? And you can get more of a stretch as you bring your leg in. You can try lifting your leg and doing it. So see where that tightness is and see what works for you. If it's bending your leg, making it straight, pulling it, pushing the knee and pulling it, okay? So you could push it and pull. So see where that tightness is, all right? And work on it. And you can just like push this knee against your foot, create that resistance. What's really good whenever we do stretches is to do a stretch and create tension at the same time. So you stretch it, you bring it in, and now push this foot against your knee as if you want to put that resistance like you're working it out. And now stretch it again, okay? Push it down. So as this foot is pushing the knee, you're resisting it, okay? So you resist it as you push down, and then you stretch it. And then you resist it, and you stretch it. And you can do that 10 times. See what you works for you. You could do a couple, and you can always work your way up. But always remember, tension and stretching is the best way to really strengthen the muscles there and release that pain, okay? Now let's do the other side. Stretch it first. What I also like doing is coming a little bit to an angle. See what works for you depending on where the tightness is. Push it, and now resist it and come down. Stretch it and put the resistance. There you go. You can pull your leg, get more of a stretch. You can push your knee with your elbow. Like this side, I feel like I get more of a deeper stretch when I push my knee on this side, but not on the other side. So feel your body out, yeah? Try to understand which muscles are really tight, where the pain is at, what kind of pain it is. Good, okay? And now, just like the one that we always do for our warm-up, where you put your legs, you bend it, and you go to side, this is amazing because it's stretching the lower back and the obliques, and then it's creating that tension as you lift it up. So as we lift it, it's working it out, and then it's stretching it. So it's amazing exercise. If you feel like it starts to get easy, just extend your legs more. Little by little, as you get stronger, don't forget to keep extending your legs until you're able to do it completely straight without moving your body, just your legs, like this. Ooh, my back just cracked. And you can do that 10 times. You could do even a couple of sets of those, you know, depending on how you feel that day. If you feel like, okay, one set is enough, or if you're always doing it consistently and you feel like it's getting easier, you want to challenge a little bit more and work it out more, you can do yourself up to 3 sets, okay? All right, now let's move on to the next stretch. So for your next stretch, I'm going to show you now an easy way to do it, okay? And then in the next stretch, you're going to see a more challenging way for you to do it. But sometimes people can't do the next one, so that's why I want to show you this one so you can work your way into it, depending on your flexibility and tightness, yeah? So what you're going to do is you're going to sit on a chair. You're going to lift your leg like this onto your knee, okay? Push this knee down, and now you're going to reach all the way forward, as if you want to try to lay your chest onto your leg right here, okay? So all you're doing is leaning forward, pushing against that knee, so the knee is not high up, because in order to stretch it, we need to make sure that it's straight down, yeah? So you push it with your arm and come down. And just stay there. And you can stay as long as you want. See what works for you. And then the next stretch is going to be the deepest one. Push against it. You can push with your elbow and come down. And always try to come a little deeper. Work your way into it. Excellent. Now let's move on to our last stretch. All right, so now I'm going to show you the deepest stretch that you can do right now to target all this area right here and for your lower back, okay? So this one, the higher it is, the more difficult it's going to be for you. So you can start with something that's low, okay, and see what works for you. This reaches about half of my calf. It doesn't even reach to where my knee is at, okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to lift your leg and you're going to have it like a 7, like we were doing in the first stretch, okay? So it's going to be like that. So the more that your knee is flat onto it, the harder it's going to be and the more stretch you're going to get, okay? So you want to make sure that your knee is not lifted. You want to make sure that it's completely straight down. So see what height works for you, okay? You don't have to get anything too high. You can put a couple of pillows on top of each other. You could put a pillow onto something else that's a little bit higher. Whatever you can do to be able to elevate your leg, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to make it flat, and then you can come down and you can lift your shoulder. And as you lift it, you're going to feel the stretch all in your lower back, okay? So what you can do is you can also just come all the way down and just stay there. And what I like to do is lift the shoulder and like pull it to an angle, okay? Like that. And you can also just stay right here and hold the stretch there. And if you feel like it hurts too much, no problem, just get up, take a little rest, a breather, lift up the knee if you have to, come back, and then try to work on that stretch again so that you're able to hold it long enough for it actually to create some kind of release, you know? You don't want to just do it for a couple of seconds. You want to try to hold it there for at least 30 seconds to a minute. Focus on your breathing. You can turn to an angle. You can reach your arms straight like that, and you'll feel the stretch in your back, as if you want to reach for something and pull it to an angle. All right. Oh, that feels so good. There you go. You just release it. Now the other leg, okay? You lift it, put your knee onto the floor, make sure that it's completely flat. And if you just start off with your chest up like this and you trying to push your knee, no problem. Everyone is different, so don't be too hard on yourself. Just do what you can right now, yeah? See, this side is much more tighter for me. Focus on that breathing. And lift that shoulder. Reach out. Good job. Amazing. Now, always remember, whenever you're dealing with any kind of tension, any kind of pain, any tightness, stretches have to be done all the time consistently, okay? It cannot just be once in a while. If you really want the pain to go, if you really want to create that balance and release all of that tension, you're always going to have to do it because one, you're sitting a lot, two, you're going to be always working out. So these two things are always going to put pressure onto the back, onto the muscles. So that's why we always got to release it. Sometimes you can do these kind of stretches a little bit before your training and then go deeper into it after your training, depending how tight you are. Sometimes I feel like I need to loosen it up a little bit, especially if I'm having a little pain when it comes to my legs and my butt. And I release it just a little bit in the beginning. And then after your workout, every time, make sure to put in your stretches if you really want to feel good. I hope this routine was helpful. Please give me your feedback. And if there's anything else that you would like to see from me, just let me know and I'll film it for you. All right, you guys?